Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Previously on What's Happening in Fragrance May 2020 edition. There seem to be quite a few really good releases lately. From 4711 and the Aqua Colonia collection, Amouage is releasing a Fragonard has Scotch and Soda has a new release. Issey Miyake has a new, Jaguar has a new, the House of Naughton and Wilson Skylar has released a Marine, and it's from a house called Wear Me. Whether you're talking about flyers or pamphlets or billboards or even a nationally televised commercial, marketing is extremely expensive. And the degree in which a company puts value in their product is the degree in the amount of dollars really is reflected by the actual marketing or ad campaign. This is no less true when you're talking about fragrance. And it's very obvious when you look at visual marketing just how much was kind of sunk in to the product itself. Carner has a new fragrance line. Let's see, back in 2016, they released something called Sanders 70s, and this was based on a bar in Barcelona in the 70s. It's kind of a cool time frame, kind of a pretty creative concept at the time, actually. And so it's almost like they took that reference point and used it as inspiration for a new line. It includes 3 fine fragrances: Bestium, Drakon, and Foligno. Bestium is an oriental smoky green unisex fragrance said to have above average longevity and projection. It features Turkish and Bulgarian rose, saffron, and Italian bergamot, with a hard accord of osmanthus and Indonesian patchouli. Now, I joked yesterday about the difference between Indonesian and standard patchouli. There really isn't any difference as to where you get your patchouli. However, there is a difference in light and dark patchouli. Patchouli dark is steam distilled and it's kind of a darker, it actually leaves a visibly dark and has a richer fragrance aroma to it. Whereas light patchouli goes through a second distillation process so that it kind of lightens the actual color and softens the dark, rich tones of patchouli, early patchouli. This fragrance is all about location because it's resting on a base of Laotian oud, Spanish citrus, and Somalian frankincense. So geographically, we've got 7 different locations represented in this fragrance. Should be a smoky, earthy wonder, and if you like that kind of fragrance, this might be something you might want to keep your eye and your nose on. Next in Carner Barcelona is Drakon. Drakon is also a unisex fragrance, and it is a woody, smoky, oriental fragrance, very similar. These fragrances, by the way, were created by Javadan perfumist Jody Fernandez. Featuring in the top, you've got French cypress, Indian betel leaf. Something interesting about betel leaf, you remember maybe hearing about betel nut? Betel nut was something, it was kind of like tobacco where they would chew it, and it would give you kind of a buzz, kind of a high, and it's very, very addictive. So the problem with the addiction is not only do you get kind of high from it, but it also stains your teeth in much the same way it did this gentleman here. It's probably something best left to the use in fragrances. In fragrance, betel leaf has kind of a peppery tobacco vibe to it. Again, you've got French cypress, you've got Indian betel leaf, along with Madagascan black pepper. Drakon has as heart accords African orange blossom, Indian cypriol, and registered akigala wood, resting on a base of leather, Canadian fir, balsam absolute, and Australian sandalwood. Again, coming in at 7 geographical locations represented by this fragrance. This sounds dark and rich, perhaps a little bit more subtle than Bestium. Last in the Barcelona line is Foligno. Foligno, like its brothers, is a unisex fragrance for men and women, but it is a sweet gourmand type fragrance. It is said to have above average longevity and projection as well, just like its brothers. Foligno, however, was created by perfumer Rodrigo Flores Rowe. It features top notes of Moroccan wormwood, papyrus, hazelnut, nutmeg, and bergamot leaf. As heart accords, it has night blooming jasmine, Madagascan lang lang, black leather, and Zanzibar clove, resting on a base of myrrh and opopanax absolute, styrax, cormorant vanilla, and civet. So if dark, rich, and gourmand is your thing, then out of Bestium, Drakon, and Foligno, Foligno would be the one that you would want to get your nose on. But if you don't like any of them, at least you can appreciate the visual aspect of their presentation. Very rich, very unique and different, and that is cool. Loccitane in Provence has released a new men's fragrance that is green, heavy on the green side, for spring and summer. It is actually a unisex fragrance, my apologies, not for men, but for men and women, and it is called the Vert, not to be confused with this Vert. with top notes of orange, bitter orange, lime, and cardamom, with heart notes of green tea, black tea, and jasmine, resting on a base of blonde woods and musk. So if you like green, woody, and lightly sweet, this might be the fragrance for you. It might just be a unique difference, kind of a spin on the typical blue fare that we're getting for spring and summer. Blackbird has a new fragrance out, and if you remember Blackbird, they are the creators of such unique named fragrances such as Broken Glass, Anemone, Mizuki, Targa, Ophir, and Triton. They have a new scent out that is a flanker in the Pipe Bomb line, and it's called Pipe Bomb Blue. Created by perfumer Henry Asoff, it is an aquatic, woody fragrance for men and women. Pipe Bomb features milk, incense, patchouli, sea salt, metallic notes, and animal or animalic notes. This one might be just a little bit challenging, but in a good way. It might be a little bit more unique spin on the typical blue fragrance. Layered has released a new spring and summer fragrance for men and women, so it's unisex, and it is called Sunshine Vibes. I do like that name. I use vibes in my vocabulary a lot as a reviewer for describing fragrances that make you feel a certain way or sense a certain thing or sense a certain smell. And Sunshine Vibes is considered an oriental vanilla fragrance. And honestly, if you add vanilla to anything, it only makes the good aspects of that even better. It has a simple yet elegant scent profile featuring osmanthus, almond, and vanilla. So it's almost like almond vanilla milk, if you've ever had that before, only on the fragrance side, which is very, very pleasant. Slightly gourmand, but eminently wearable. I don't know about you, but I like sunshine in any form. Add just a little bit of vanilla to it, and there you go, something even better. So this may be one you want to check out. German designer Toni Gard has released their 13th fragrance called True. This fragrance is for men, and it is a spring and summer fragrance. This fragrance sounds like, when you read the notes, and you'll see in a moment, this fragrance sounds like it might fall in the shadow of all the typical Aventus clones out there. Let's hope, however, it takes those notes and does something a little bit unique to set it apart. However, in the top, it features pineapple, lemon, and bergamot, with heart notes of violet, iris, and moss, resting on a base of vetiver, cedar, and musk. I don't know, sounds kind of Aventus-y, so let's hope that true doesn't turn into a false. Thera Cosmeticos has released a new fragrance for men called Aspen, and yes, I know what you're thinking. If it's the first thing that I thought of the Cody's Aspen, released in 1989. A lot of fragrances since then have carried that name Aspen. This particular iteration is created by perfumer Mario Torinetto, featuring top notes of artemisia, coriander, lavender, green notes, and neroli, with heart notes of bergamot, rosemary, and cinnamon, resting on a base of cloves, juniper berries, tarragon, and orris. Aspen sounds like it may be a rich, woody, masculine fragrance, befitting the best of spring and summer. Let's hope that green shines and is worth such an iconic name, or it should just be chopped down and made into a coffee table. Again, this is just a few releases out of many, a tremendous amount of new releases that I thought you might be interested in. As time goes on, hopefully each month I would like to do a what's new in fragrance or what's happening in fragrance, if there are enough releases to actually merit doing that. So be on the lookout for another video in the future, hopefully next month. We'll find out for sure, judging based on, again, on how many releases there are. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm really happy that you stopped by and watched. Always very much appreciate your continued support on my channel. Remember, I'm trying to get to 2,000. If you haven't entered that giveaway, I'll leave a link above that you can enter that giveaway for the free Dolce & Gabbana the One plus the quarantine kit. That's going to be part of the quarantine kit that I'm giving away as soon as I reach 2,000. And all you have to do is very simply answer the question, how old were you when you had your first date? And if you don't remember how old you were, just tell us a little bit about what was going on in your life, like you got your first car, you just got your first video game console, whatever the case may be. Just a little bit of what was going on at the time when you got your first date, because it's related to that date night fragrance, the one. Thanks so much again, guys. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.